Birmingham begins as an industrial experiment, an engineered city created at the intersection of iron ore, coal, and limestone. Its furnaces run day and night, drawing thousands of black laborers who endure some of the most dangerous working conditions in the South. The city's economic foundation is inseparable from racial hierarchy. Black workers are regulated to the hottest, dirtiest, and most lethal jobs, while the white workers occupy supervisory roles. The city's identity becomes tied to fire, literal and metaphorical. The heat of the furnaces mirrors the heat of racial tension simmering beneath the surface. From the 1940s through the early 1960s, Birmingham experiences more than 50 racially motivated bombings. Many targeted black families who moved into the previously white neighborhoods. Others targeted activists, ministers, and community leaders. Police investigations are cursory. Arrests are rare. Convictions are almost non-existent. Residents learn to distinguish the sound of a bomb from thunder. Children grow up knowing which houses have been hit. The violence becomes so common that the city earns the grim nickname, whispered across the South, Birmingham. This is the environment into which the civil rights movement steps, an environment where terror is not an anomaly, but a tactic. The 16th Street Baptist Church became the strategic center of the movement. It hosts mass meetings, training sessions, and nonviolent resistance, and planning sessions for marches that will reshape the nation. The church is a place of refuge for black families, but also a place of political power. Its leaders were watched closely by segregationists and law enforcement. By 1963, the church is a symbol of black resilience and organization. It is also a target. Youth Day is a cherished tradition. Children rehearse songs, recitations, and scripture readings. Parents prepare outfits days in advance. Addie Mae Collins is quiet, artistic, and thoughtful. Denise McNair is outgoing, charismatic, and beloved by adults. Carol Robertson is studious, disciplined, and deeply involved in school activities. Cynthia Wesley is gentle, introspective, and known for her kindness. Their families describe them as bright, hopeful, and full of promise. On the morning of September 15, 1963, they arrived early to prepare for the service. They were excited. They are unaware that a bomb has been planted beneath the steps near the basement. The device is constructed from dynamite, simple, inexpensive, and devastating. It is placed in a location chosen for maximum structural damage and maximum casualties. The men who planted it there are members of the Ku Klux Klan, with long histories of violence. They believe the bombings will intimidate the movement and halt the momentum of desegregation efforts. At 10:22 a.m., the device detonates. The explosion is so powerful it collapses walls, shatters windows, blocks away, and sends debris flying through the sanctuary. The 4 girls are killed instantly. More than 20 others were injured. The community is thrown to chaos. Parents rush into the church. Survivors describe the sound as a thunderclap followed by screams and dust so thick they could not see. The city's black residents gather in shock and grief. Ministers attempt to comfort families while also comforting their own devastation. News spreads rapidly across the nation. The bombing becomes a symbol of the brutality of segregation and the urgency of civil rights reform. The bombing draws national outrage. Civil rights leaders condemn the attack as an act of domestic terrorism. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivers a eulogy that frames the girls as martyrs whose death would gallivant the movement. Families struggle to comprehend the loss. The grief becomes a public symbol of the cost of hatred. The bombing accelerates support for the Civil Rights Act, but the political momentum does not translate into immediate justice for the victims. The FBI identified the suspects within days. They are well-known Klansmen with histories of violence. However, internal policies, racial bias, and fear of backlash led to a stalled investigation. Key evidence is withheld. Witnesses are intimidated. Files are sealed. For years, the case remains unresolved. Families wait in anguish. The city lives with the knowledge that the killers walk free. Decades later, new political leadership and renewed public pressure led to the reopening of the case. Investigators revisit all evidence, interview surviving witnesses, and uncover previously suppressed information. The families, now older, face the emotional burden of reliving the trauma in pursuit of long-delayed justice. One by one, the suspects are brought to trial. The trials reveal the depth of the original investigative failures and the extent of the conspiracy to protect the perpetrators. The convictions bring a measure of closure, but also a recognition that justice delayed is justice diminished. The families express relief, sorrow, and a sense of unfinished reckoning. The city has transformed. Memorials honor the 4 girls. Schools teach the history that was once suppressed. Community leaders work to address the lingering effects of segregation and racial violence. The church remains a symbol of resilience and a site of pilgrimage for those seeking to understand the past. The bombing was intended to silence a movement. Instead, it strengthened it. The legacy of the 4 girls continued to shape conversations about justice, equality, and the cost of hatred. Their story endures as a reminder that history is not distant, it is alive, and it demands engagement.